What is the difference between a manager and a leader? Big difference. A manager manages things and a leader leads people. So you can't manage people, you can only lead them. If you think about what you manage, you can manage inventory, you can manage assets, you can manage finances, you can manage systems, you can manage deliverables, but can you lead people when you are managing them? No, you have to lead people. You have to understand what makes them tick. You have to understand what motivates them, what inspires them, what gets them to take action, what has them committed, what has them going above and beyond the ordinary, what has them overcoming obstacles, because we all face obstacles every day in every area. A manager is not so good at understanding the psychology of people. And a lot of people, they are just managers and they think that they are leaders when they're actually managers. The difference also is that a leader is leading for results. They're responsible for the bottom line results, and then they're working with the team and helping the team to overcome obstacles and achieve certain results also, whereas a manager doesn't necessarily do that. Like a manager might be a financial manager. So you can take a hotel as an example, and if they're run by a manager, they're going to be running all the financial metrics. They're going to be looking at their revenue per room or revenue per key. They're going to be looking at how much they get from food and beverage. They're going to be cutting costs in all kinds of places. Whereas a leader is saying, where can this hotel go in the future? How can we deliver a more extraordinary return for our shareholders? How can we innovate? How can we become an industry leader? How can we push the envelope on the profitability? Whereas the manager is trying to manage within a budget. So the leader is stretching the organization and stretching the people and saying, how do we get better people on board? How do we get them more inspired? How do we get them more engaged? How do we engage with our customers? How do we lead our customers? How do we give them better outcomes? Whereas a manager is just trying to stop customer attrition. They're just trying to stop the losses. They're not trying to grow the business. They're trying to contain it within the boundaries. So this is some of the biggest differences between a manager and a leader. So I say to you, are you a manager or are you a leader? It's a good question to ask, isn't it? Are you a manager or are you a leader? I say if you are growth oriented and you want to improve your results, you have to lead yourself, not manage yourself. But a lot of people, they work within budgets. They set a budget for themselves, and then it's like having handcuffs. They restrain themselves within their artificial budget that they set for themselves, and then they try and live within these limits. And then they feel in control or out of control, depending on the circumstances, based on these artificial limits that they set for themselves. Much better for you to say, okay, how do we expand our means? How do we grow? How do we go to new places? How do we expand in different areas rather than living within a budget? How do we grow our income? How do we expand our lifestyle? How do we expand our investments? How do we generate more income generating assets? So these are some of the things to think about as a leader and the difference between a leader and a manager. Don't be a manager, be a leader. Focus on the people, focus on the results that people want for themselves, what inspires and motivates them to take action. This is Harrison talking about the difference between a manager and a leader.